Hello everybody and welcome, I am Brickerboom, and I know I said last video I was probably gonna do a Lugia run, but y'all, I was not ready to do a second video where I had to struggle battle to level up some, so instead, I decided to visit the game with too much water and use a Pokemon that would be at a distinct disadvantage. Today, we're going to see if we can beat the game Pokemon Water Edition, aka Pokemon Emerald, with only a Groudon. Groudon is the earthy half of Kyogre and has some pretty amazing stats with a beefed up attack, and honestly, overall, just a really solid legendary Pokemon. Also, gonna get this out of the way right away. I was made aware yesterday. Today's Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday. I was made aware yesterday that I'm having some mic issues, though nothing has changed. I have run as many diagnostics as I could, and truthfully, I have no idea why it's not working or if it cuts out. Hopefully not when I go to edit this. We'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. For Groudon, from an ability perspective, it's gonna be Drought basically no matter what, which will lower the effect of water-type moves, which is honestly gonna help us. The only issue is that it can beef up moves like Solar Beam that take a turn to charge. From a nature perspective, we have a lax nature, which means it gets a better defense but lower special defense, which, If you look at the move set, oh hey, would you look at that? We actually start with an attacking move. Now, the full move set, especially in comparison to the Ho-Oh from last week, is really, really good. Solid coverage, solid powers. I can't complain, and we get to do my favorite gamble in these runs, which is, are we going to get a buff out of Ancient Power? For the rival, we go ahead and give her Trico. It can deal some super effective damage, and we don't learn Fire Blast till level 45, well after we are probably going to fight her for the last time. We can learn some TMs that I think could do some damage, but we'll kind of see how things pan out. For the first fight against May, I mean, it's not a one-shot, but we're also a legendary Pokemon. Do you really think we have to worry that much? There are a few trainers that we are going to have to avoid along the way to Rustboro, given the fact that they do have a flying type. Last thing I am going to cover before we get to that first gym battle is there are a lot of grunt battles in this. For the most part, we only cover the really major fights when it comes to the Magma Aqua plotline, and even then, they're sometimes more often than not complete pushovers. So, with all that preamble out of the way, that'll lead us into Rustboro City, where it's time to face Roxanne, and we will see how we do in our first gym battle with this Tectonic Titan. Roxanne first starts with Geodude, and we open with Mud Shot, taking it down in one go. Then, with the next Geodude, we just go ahead and repeat the process. As Nosepass comes out, we take it to half, and Nosepass does harden up, meaning our next attack only takes up a yellow. Rock Tomb connects for very little damage, and then Roxanne begins potioning up, which drags this out in a little bit longer of a fight. But we're in no danger of losing this battle whatsoever, so after a few turns, we're able to go ahead, knock it out, and take a pretty easy first badge. From there, this is where we're going to kind of get the run truly started with probably the most important mission that could be given to us. More important than saving the world, more important than jumping through the political status of climbing through the gym leader ranks to beat the Elite Four, we gotta save Pico. And be a part of the proud Pokemon Mail Carrier Service and deliver the letter to Steven before going to fight Brawly for the very first time. Brawly starts off with Machop, and we start things with Ancient Power, wanting to see if we get the boost. Which we do. We can take it to half, but this time we don't get the boost, and it does use Seismic Toss as we swap over to Mudshot to finish it off. Meditite is out next, so we take it to a Sliver with Mudshot as it sets up Light Screen. Brawly does heal up, and we use another Ancient Power, taking a little bit of health. Then, we miss Mudshot as it sets Bulk up. It tries going for Focus Punch, so what we do is we just take the chance to waste some Light Screen, hitting it with Ancient Power before going back to Mudshots to take it down after another heal up. Makuhita is his last Pokemon, and we use Mudshot, taking it to yellow as it uses Bulk Up. The berry does heal it back to green. Another Mudshot takes it to red, and after that, another Mudshot takes it down to win us the second badge. Alright, so we do have a good bit of travel ahead of us, and once more, and I cannot stress this enough, there are so many grunt battles that we do not need to have. The thing that we'll be focusing on, honestly, is going to be the May fight up ahead. Given the fact that it's one of the more difficult fights for solo runs like this, especially at this level, Maze starts off with Wingull, and we open with Ancient Power, taking it out in one go. Grovyle is next, and it uses Absorb for a lot of damage with a critical hit, and we're doing about a fifth. Another Absorb connects, and we get taken to 14 HP, and even though we do some damage, we just end up going down. So this does take a handful of attempts, and Wingull, that's always going to be a one-shot. So for the Grovyle, it's just focusing on Absorb and gaining back HP. So what we do is we swap back between Ancient Power and Rock Tomb. The lowered speed from Rock Tomb allows us to attack first, and that's the only reason that we managed to take it out with only 14 HP remaining. Then with Slugma, well, it's a Slugma, so it ends up going down in one shot, winning us a pretty annoying battle, actually. Now the next gym battle, that's going to be really easy for us. We won't take much damage from the leader, so we're in pretty good shape. What we do, though, just to clear a little bit more of the game and make further travel easier for us, we take out the trainers to the left, the right, and the north of town, and then after that, it's time to double back, and then we can go ahead and face Watson. Voltorb is up first, and we open with Mudshot, and we can take it down in one go. Yeah, I have a feeling that'll be the case for the whole match. Next up is Electrike, and it can go down to a single Mudshot. Then it's out to Magneton, and of course, a Mudshot takes it down. Manectric is his final Pokemon, and he uses Quick Attack for not very much damage. We take it together with Mudshot, and then after that, even with the berry healing it, it does go down. Alright, this is going pretty well so far, and after doing a run where I had nothing but Whirlwind for the first 22 levels, this is a nice surprise. What we'll do is continue with the run, get past Norman, and then we can go ahead and cover how Groudon is doing in this game. I typically do this at about the self-imposed halfway point for Fire Red Leaf Green, and I think that Norman is a pretty good spot for that in this game. If it were Heart Gold Soul Silver, I would probably do it right after Morty, or maybe the Lighthouse, just because the optional leaders in Kanto are just that, optional. I do it because I always want to fight Red, but just to kind of give you an idea of when I typically try to review the Pokemon, I do a mid-game review and an in-game review. For now, though, we're going to go ahead, climb a mountain, and I was informed there's a hiker that you can sometimes spot on the mountain, but sadly, Hiker Watch 2025, this is not one of those times as we go to the anime battle on top of an active volcano. Maxie first sends out Mightyena, and we use Ancient Power to take it to not quite half. It uses Scary Face, and we swap to Mudshot, taking it down. After that, it's out to Zubat, and it's a pretty easy one-shot with Ancient Power. Then, finally, it's Camerupt, and Mudshot is able to take it down to win us the battle. So from there, we're going to go ahead and go to Flannery's gym, and I don't think it's going to be any kind of problem, except for the fact that her Fire-type moves will get a significant boost. I could actually see Torkoal hitting us pretty hard with Overheat, assuming it survives a shot, because it also has a White Herb, which means that it's going to be able to fire off 2 full-powered Overheats before actually losing any stats. But we'll make our way down the mountain, and then we'll see how things go. Flannery first starts with Numel, and we open with Mudshot, since Bulk Up will do nothing to better our special. Slugma is truly terrible, so we might as well see if we can get an Ancient Power buff. We take it down, but sadly, no buff. Camerupt comes out, and we swap back to Mudshot, taking it down in one shot as well. Not 100% sure if that crit was needed. And then as Torkoal comes out, we Mudshot it to take it to under half, and it uses Body Slam, paralyzing us. Not great. It uses Overheat, and misses. And we don't stay paralyzed, so we can take it down to win the battle. That actually went a lot better than I thought. I honestly figured that Torkoal would have at least gotten us down into the lower yellow with an Overheat boost like that. Had the situation reversed and it connected and we missed, we probably would have lost. But I am not the type of person who knows how to run any type of calcs whatsoever. So with 4 badges down, we'll go ahead, go fight Norman, and then we can talk about how this run is doing. Going into the Norman fight, given the fact that we have Bulk Up, the Slaking can't really do much to us, but might as well see how the rest of the battle goes first. Norman, the normal leader, first sends out Spinda. We can open with Mudshot, taking it to below half as it uses Teeter Dance. Fantastic. Next turn, we smack ourselves as it continues to dance in our face. Then we smack ourselves again as it continues to dance the day away before going down to Mudshot. After that, it's Vigoroth, and we swap back to Ancient Power just to test damage, and it's doing not quite half. It challenges our Slash with a Slash of its own, then our Slash crits and knocks it out. The Wiggly Noodle that is Lanoon comes out, and we slash it to almost half as it uses Slash on us, then it goes down. And then finally, it's Big Boy Slacking, and we use Bulk Up on the turns it can attack, and then just attack the turns it's been loafing. I'm aware this isn't super exciting gameplay to cover, especially because everybody uses this Truon strat, but it does put us to sleep a few times here and there. But we do take it down without too much of a problem to win a relatively easy battle. We're going to go ahead and move on. Overall thoughts for Groudon. I mean, I can see why Maxie would want this thing. It's a solid Pokemon, though I can see the back half of the game actually being a little bit of trouble for us. We have a Flying Gym, the battle against the Twins, and then, of course, a Water Gym for the final, and then a Water-based champion. I think Groudon definitely has the capacity to beat this game at a lower level, but it is no Mewtwo, who I should also see if could beat this game now that Dark types run rampant. One day, I'd like to try and use Primal Groudon in one of these runs just to see how much easier it clears the game over regular Groudon. So please, let me know if you have any extra ROMs to make this happen. And question of the week for y'all, what's your favorite legendary Pokemon? I'm a basic boy. I want to say Mew or Mewtwo, but that's because I'm a Gen 1 baby. Anyway, let's go ahead and fight May for the last time. May sends out Slugma, and as I've said before, it's awful, so it goes down to one shot. Grovyle is next, so we use Earthquake, hoping for a one shot, which we don't get. Giga Drain does some solid damage, but then it goes down with Earthquake. Then you have Lombre, and it uses Fake Out for a little bit of chippy damage before we Earthquake it into red. Nature Power does a little, then Slash takes it down to win a pretty clean battle. Alright, so here soon we find ourselves in Four Tree City. A city that I actually really loved and based a D&D encounter on, but that's neither here nor there. There is a chance that Winona can wreck us, but we'll see what happens. If we win, that's actually a pretty decent threat out of the way for this particular challenge. Swablu's up first, so we open with Ancient Power, taking it to red as it uses Aerial Ace. Winona heals up, and then with a Hyper Potion, we take it back to red, then bulk up. It uses Mirror Move, then we can take it down. Tropius is next, so we swap back to Ancient Power, taking it to yellow, and then a no-charge Solar Beam wrecks us, but we do take it down. Pelipper is next, and we swap back to Slash, taking it to yellow, and it misses Supersonic before it wastes Protect Time before going down. Then, Skarmory is out, and Ancient Power does some decent damage, and Steel Wing, that's not doing too much. Ancient Power takes it to yellow, and Steel Wing misses as we bulk up, but then after a heal up, we take it down, though we only have 4 HP left by that time, so her Altaria comes out, and we slash for not enough damage as Dragon Breath knocks us out. Let me try that again, because I think I can do this. With a second attempt, we can get back to the Tropius, but this time, we actually take it down, so we don't have a bunch of missing HP. This way, when Skarmory comes out, we do trade some attacks back and forth without too much of a concern. So that when we take it out, we still have a good chunk of health remaining. And then, Altaria's out, we slash it to red. Winona heals up, we take it back to red, then take it down to win the battle. We didn't have to level up, so I'm going to go ahead and just take it and run. But now, we can go ahead and get some more travel done and out of the way. There's some Aqua and Magma stuff that we want to get done, and an optional May fight that we may do. If it turns out we end up doing it, then we'll go ahead and cover that, but for now, there is one more somewhat hard Maxi fight that we can go ahead and cover. Maxi first starts with Mightyena, and we use Ancient Power, and it uses Scary Face. It does outspeed and do some damage, and we swap to Earthquake to take it down. After that, Crobat is out, and it absolutely outspeeds, hitting for solid damage with an Air Cutter. We do take it to yellow with an Ancient Power, and Maxi heals, but our next Ancient Power gets a crit to take it down. After that, he only has Camera up to we definitely outspeed by now, and take it down to win the battle. With that, we do have a little bit of running that we have to do, but before we get to save the world, we have a set of twins that we need to fight. This battle is pretty difficult in basically every single solo run, and I'll do my best to recap this the best that I can. Our sacrificial lamb for this particular battle will be our Surf Pokemon, since it's at a low enough level to not attack, and the AI always seems to like to go for that knockout punch if it can. So, the twins start with Xatu and Claydol, and we open with Ancient Power, mostly hoping to get a boost to avoid getting KO'd easy. We take it to yellow, and Xatu one-shots the Poliwag. Its Earthquake hits for a bit of damage. We do another Ancient Power, taking Xatu down, and Soul Rock is out. But not only do we get hit with that second Earthquake, Soul Rock doesn't need to charge Solar Beam, and we get taken down. Not gonna lie to you, we try this battle a lot of times. Even if we get a couple boosts, the Soul Rock is able to do pretty solid damage to us, and at the end of the day, we're just not able to survive enough hits while also doing damage to them. A well-timed crit would be great, but even with that, I don't think that we would win. So, without too much of a choice in the matter, we do have to level up, and we have to level up a good, decent bit. As always, I'll go ahead and kind of play a couple of those leveled up attempts in between in the background while I ramble on for this little bit in the script. But doing this takes us all the way to level 65, where we finally learn Solar Beam. And it's a Solar Beam that does not need charged. At this level, we take Claydol down with a single Solar Beam as the Xatu takes out the Poliwag. After that, we make sure to go ahead and do the same thing to Soul Rock. We can also do the same thing to Lunatone, and then the Xatu is able to go down in 2 Ancient Powers, winning us a much easier battle than I would have expected at this level. Without those super effective moves, and honestly the lack of charge time on Solar Beam, I'm pretty sure we still would have been taken down quickly. But now it's time for us to move on to the rest of the Magma and Aqua plotline as we use our Groudon in the double battle to completely dismantle both of our opponents and Steven's team with Earthquake, and then from there we can go ahead, head into the back half of the game. What we're going to do here is face off against the final of the gym leaders, and there is one more Wally fight at the beginning of Victory Road, so we'll go ahead and finish those 2 fights, and then we can theory craft a little bit for the Elite Four on who's actually going to be difficult. Let's go fight Juan. Love Disc is out first, so we use Ancient Power because we want to see if we can get the boost. It does put us to sleep, but then we wake up a few turns later and take it down with Ancient Power. We do smack ourselves in Confusion when Whiscash first comes out, and it sets up Amnesia, though it is still a one-shot. Next out is Celio, and we Ancient Power it for a clean one-shot. Groudon is next, so we Solar Beam it, taking it down as well. As Kingdra comes out, we Solar Beam and take it to below half as Ice Beam connects and does pretty good damage. The next turn, though, we can go ahead, take it down, and win us the final badge. Not gonna lie, I am really gonna enjoy this no charge on Solar Beam shenanigans. Let's go ahead and fight Wally. Wally first starts with Altaria, and we open up with Ancient Power, taking it to low yellow as it begins dancing. After that, we still outspeed, so we can go ahead and take it down. After that, Rosalia comes out, and we swap over to Earthquake, knocking it out. Delcatty is the exact opposite of what a threat looks like, and it goes down to an Earthquake as well. Magneton is the same as the rest with a one-shot, and then finally you have Gardevoir, and a single hit is able to take it down to win us the battle. Now that we're done with that, we can go ahead and prep for the Elite Four. Sydney, I don't think is going to be a problem. We'll just want to make sure that we not use too many power points if we can help it. Phoebe, honestly, has the potential to be a menace because the Dusclops have pressure, so we have to do a lot of power point preservation. Then you have Glacia, and since some of the Pokemon share that partial water typing, that could be really dangerous for us. The biggest thing that we'll want to do is make sure that we do not let them set up Hail. Drake, he'll probably be a problem simply because he has dragons. And then Wallace, well, as long as he doesn't set up Hail, we should be alright. Let's try this and see how things go. Sydney starts with Mightyena, and we go ahead and use Earthquake off the bat to see what kind of damage we do, and it actually one-shots it. Groudon is out, and we swap over to Solar Beam, one-shotting it as well. Next up, you have Cacturn, and we Earthquake, taking it to low yellow as it misses, then goes down. Shiftry is next, outspeeds us, and begins double teaming. I'm only showing this battle because I don't think I've ever seen a series of attacks miss so many times in a row. We get confused, extrasensory, that's not a word, and don't land a single hit until we go down. I don't know what the chances are of that, but that is the worst luck that I have ever seen. This does take us a couple of attempts getting back to Shiftry, but since we don't spend 30 turns missing, we can take it out, finish off the remainder of his team, and then head off to Phoebe. With Phoebe, Dusclops wastes time with Protect, and we do take it to yellow with Solar Beam, then knock it out with Ancient Power. The next Dusclops goes to yellow, hits us, then we knock it out with Solar Beam. Banette goes down to a few Ancient Powers, and we take Sableye to red. And just when I think that we lost, I realize her last 2 Pokemon don't have Levitate, and they both go down to a single shot. After a heal up and some PowerPoint heals, we head to Glacia, who again could be an issue for us. Glacia sends out Celio, and we use Solar Beam, taking it down in one shot. Glalie is up next, so we swap to Ancient Power, taking it to yellow as it misses. It does get healed, and we take it back to yellow before it goes down. The next Celio's out, we use Solar Beam to take it down. Then she has another Glalie that comes out, and we take it down. And then finally, Walrein comes out, goes down to one shot to win us the battle. Took about 5 tries, but honestly, better than I thought. Let's go fight Drake. Shelgon is up first and likes to waste time with Protect stalling, so we try to predict that when we can and take it down. Next out is Kingdra, and we Solar Beam it, taking it to yellow as it hits us with Smokescreen before going down. Next up is Altaria, and we use Ancient Power, taking it to about half. And despite the heal up, we take it down. Flygon doesn't do much except waste time, and then Salamence goes down pretty easy to win this battle as well. Again, we had to do this a half a dozen times because, for whatever reason, we kept getting paralyzed off Dragon Breath, even though it's a 33% chance. But now, let's go fight the champion. Wailord is first, so we're able to take it down in one Solar Beam. With Tentacruel, we swap between our moves a bit, only suffering a Surf in the meantime. When Whiscash comes out, we swap back to Solar Beam, taking it down, and then we actually do the same with Milotic, which is kind of surprising. Ludicolo just wants to set up Double Team and never actually bothers attacking, so even though it does take a few tries to hit it, we do take it down pretty quickly. Then it's out to Gyarados, and a few Ancient Powers do the trick, winning us the battle, and technically the run. Now, if you've seen these runs before, you know that we gotta try that Secret Steven fight, but due to time constraints and the fact that this is about an hour before I would normally post this on a Friday, I hope you'll forgive me as we go to the final attempt. Skarmory, honestly, that's just a slugfest back and forth because it does withstand most of our attacks, but it also doesn't have anything super effective against us. Steven switches out, and we hit Aggron with a weak Ancient Power, then swap to Earthquake, taking it down. Credilli comes out, and we take it to red as it sets up in green, then goes down. Armaldo goes to red, and it hits us with Water Pulse, then heals, then back to red, then goes down. Skarmory comes back out, we take it down with a few attacks. Then, as Metagross comes out, we take it down with Earthquake, take out Claydol with Solar Beam, and that wins us the secret battle. I hope that you enjoyed that run, because I definitely enjoy getting to use this legendary Pokemon. I'll definitely do that Lugia run here soon, but getting to use a Pokemon like this is really, really fun. With our next run, I'm not 100% sure what I'll do next week, and I know that I'm gonna have to do a Mewtwo run in this game, since it'll probably struggle a bit due to the dark typings. I hope that you all have a good weekend, and I'll be streaming some more Legends Arceus Saturday morning, aka tomorrow, for a few hours. Links for Twitch, Discord, and all that will be down below. And I want to thank you all for hanging out, giving me a little bit of your time, especially if you made it this far. In the meantime, though, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!